As a kid, many of us dream of having a lot of money to spend in any way we can imagine, usually wishing for the newest game console, the coolest toys, or maybe unlimited trips to your favorite theme parks. Well, for some young people around the world, that wish is very much a reality. Get ready to have your mind blown as we look at some of the richest kids who live the craziest lifestyles through their fortunes of amounts most of us can only dream to ever have. But before we get started, what would be the first thing you would buy if you suddenly became incredibly wealthy? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll give you a second. Alright, well, without any further ado, let's get it on. Richest Kids. Here's an interesting fact. Many wealthy families in the Middle East don't report their net worth to any public authority, leading many people to believe that Jeff Bezos is not actually the richest man in the world, but that a Saudi prince or Qatari oil mogul might actually be the wealthiest person on Earth, with a net worth in the trillions. Richest Kids is a young blogger who gives the world insight into his extravagant world of mysteriously enormous wealth. The 17-year-old Dubai native is the son of a construction mogul with one of those shadowy net worths, but the best estimates place it around $2.3 billion. Although some sources claim that the number is comically low, the unbelievable life Richest shows off through his videos of solid gold slippers, custom jewelry, designer dream cars, and fantasy trips around the world taken on a whim captivates audiences and has led to him being an incredibly popular influencer the world over, frequently pulling in millions of views. Richest has an illustrious showroom where he keeps his huge collection of unique, exclusive designer sneakers, many of which have worths well into the tens and occasionally hundreds of thousands of dollars. However, he doesn't spend his money willy-nilly, and according to his parents, he's been taught the value of money, as well as shown personal responsibility by running his own fashion brand, KA1, which attracts the attention of celebrities the world over who apparently are lining up to meet the 17-year-old. Lil Pump. Well, you're more than likely familiar with the young trap artist because of his hugely popular breakout hit Gucci Gang and his many follow-up songs with collaborators like Kanye West. Recently, having turned 18, the rapper had made a huge fortune from his music, way before he was a legal adult.
Yes, sir. Make it rain.
He lives in a massive $4.6 million mansion where he's been making infamous videos of his extravagant lifestyle since he was 16 years old. He's frequently showing off jewelry worth over $500,000, including his diamond-encrusted chain of his own face, worth about $380,000, a medallion of his famous catchphrase, which is actually in the dictionary, and a huge collection of other insane pieces of custom jewelry, with an overall value reaching well into the millions of dollars. Let's wait and see what adulthood has in store for the colorfully haired, wildly wealthy South Florida musician. Benjamin Kicks. Imagine regularly partying with some of the biggest rappers in the world at the age of 16. Well, thanks to his passionate interest in both sneakers and business, that's exactly what Benjamin Kicks' lifestyle has become.
How's business? Booming.
Simply by buying exclusive and rare sneakers from other collectors and selling them at a higher price to sneakerheads, Benjamin caught the attention of DJ Khaled, and the two regularly started hanging out.
Ben, how's school? Amazing. I like that.
Through Khaled, he was introduced to other hip-hop giants like Drake, P. Diddy, and Future, all of whom regularly buy sneakers from him at what one can only assume are very high prices. Eventually, when DJ Khaled's Snapchat started to go viral, his regular snaps featuring a 16-year-old Benjamin caught the attention of the public and resulted in a lot more business for the young entrepreneur, as his new merch brand proudly claims business is booming, and the now 18-year-old has an estimated net worth in excess of $1.5 million, with more surely coming in every day. But partying with Drake is probably a priceless experience. Kyle Buga. If you haven't heard about this skilled gamer from your parents yet, you're probably in the minority. Kyle Buga recently became nearly world famous and brought the legitimacy of esports into the public eye by winning $3 million at the 2019 Fortnite World Championship when coming in at first place.
One more time, your world champion, Buga!
The 16-year-old American quickly became the 10th highest earning gamer of all time with that single win.
$3 million future.
alongside over $25,000 earned from another 12 tournaments throughout 2018 and 19. And that ranking is sure to only get higher as Kyle participates in more tournaments over time. One of the benefits of his highly publicized victory is that now a ton of parents are sure to actually encourage their kids to play more video games. So that's a plus. Bobby Missner. Alright, so this guy isn't exactly a kid or rich of his own accord, but he definitely deserves an honorable mention for his highly publicized antics and trying to gain clout by documenting an expensive lifestyle he's grown up accustomed to.
Who is Bobby?
Bobby's father became a billionaire through his private audio engineering chain of universities, which have campuses in over 50 cities after starting in Sydney in 1976.
Then, my life changed forever.
As a result, his 24-year-old son Bobby was able to grow up traveling the world, wearing expensive clothes, driving expensive cars, and mingling among the wealthy elites of the world. In 2018, he released a video called Life of a Billionaire's Son, trying to market his image, and the video went viral, in more ways than one. While there was a large audience of people who were captivated by the vicarious lifestyle they could experience through Bobby, many commentators made popular videos joking about him, but Bobby took the jokes in stride, and this only pushed his notoriety higher and has made him a recognizable member of the larger YouTube community. Personally, if I had the lifestyle Bobby does, I wouldn't care if YouTubers were joking about me either. Ryan's Toy Reviews. When Forbes released a list of the highest paid YouTubers in 2018, people expected names like PewDiePie or James Charles, but were blown away when a young boy by the name Ryan's Toy Reviews came out at the #1 spot, with earnings reportedly as high as $80 million. The 7-year-old has incredible reach and influence with his toy review videos, as the toys he features in his videos rapidly fly off the shelves, leading to dozens of high-paying brand deals from toy companies from all over the world, and a line of clothing sold at Walmart's all over the world, aptly called Ryan's World Clothes. Since the boy is so young, his parents have to be in control of most of his earnings, but 15% has to be stored by law in a special account that will only be accessible to Ryan when he turns 18. With a fortune approaching 9 figures by the age of 7, who knows if Ryan might take the title of world's youngest billionaire one day soon.
Nick D'Alessio. Also topping our list at number 5 of rich kids in the world is a tech prodigy from the UK who became a millionaire at age 17. Nick D'Alessio is a UK teen genius who became a magnet for publicity when web giant Yahoo bought the 2-year-old news summary startup for a cool $30 million. His iOS app called Soonly summarizes news articles and stories from popular media sites, basically compressing lengthy slabs of text into a couple of sentences. The teenage computer programmer was hailed as a Great Britain success story, and in 2013, the Wall Street Journal awarded Mr. D'Alessio Innovator of the Year for his work on Soonly and at Yahoo. Now 24 years old, Mr. D'Alessio is back at it, and yet another idea for a knowledge-sharing app called Sphere. He co-founded the company with tech officer Thomas Halges, and together they have raised a total of $30 million from investors.
Lil Nas X. From Twitter meme lord to overnight sensation, Lil Nas X took the world by storm with his infectious country trap fusion smash hit, Old Town Road, and its remixes featuring, well, everyone I guess. The song held the record for the longest time at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and most streams for over 23 weeks, only to be overtaken by another song of his, Panini, with which he cemented himself as a real musical contender, and more than just a one-hit wonder. Lil Nas X has amassed money so fast throughout 2019 since his song took off in March through the use of TikTok and meme culture that it's hard to pinpoint his ever-expanding net worth, but some estimates have it as high as $25 million and counting. Some of his more extravagant purchases since coming into his rapid success have been a custom Louis Vuitton Infinity Gauntlet and a red Maserati he bought for his co-star Billy Ray Cyrus, a reference to a lyric from the remixes he appears on. All the while, Lil Nas X has stayed plugged in with meme culture and frequently interacts with fans on Twitter, giving him a humble image that makes him extremely likable. One thing's for sure with this 20-year-old superstar rapper, he's got a huge career ahead of him and a lot more money to be made. Eric Finman. Eric Finman is a 20-year-old with a success story that sounds like something out of a movie. At the age of 12, the American boy took $1,000 his grandmother had intended to be for his college education and invested it in a new technology called Bitcoin, purchasing 100 coins which were worth between $10 to $12 each at the time. If you're familiar with Bitcoin, you probably know how this story ends. Within a few years, when Eric was 15, he sold a small portion of his holdings for $100,000 and dropped out of high school to start his own education startup, Botangle, to try and reshape the educational system he hated so much. At this point, he made a bet with his parents that if he could become a millionaire by the age of 18, he wouldn't have to go to college. Well, Eric won the bet.
I was 18 years old when I made my first $1 million.
Over the years, he increased his Bitcoin holdings to about 450 Bitcoin, worth around $4.5 million today. Safe to say his parents are totally fine with their son skipping out on college at this point.
Prince Moulay Hassan. The Prince of Morocco, Moulay Hassan, was born on May 8, 2003, to King Mohammed IV and his wife, Princess Lala Salma, as heir to the Moroccan throne. Hassan is named after his grandfather, Hassan II, and has a younger sister, Princess Layla Khadija. And how rich is Prince Hassan? His family fortune is estimated at $5.7 billion, and it is set to raise with time. At 16 years old, Prince Hassan lives a life most of his age mates can only dream of. Hassan began appearing in public with his father during royal ceremonies in 2015, and has since accompanied him to similar official events. In 2017, Prince Hassan was the youngest participant at the One Planet Summit in France. In 2019, the prince officiated the opening ceremony of the 14th International Agricultural Exhibition, or SIAM, in Morocco. Too much for a 16-year-old? I guess the young prince is only just getting started. Prince George Alexander Louis. The royal British family is synonymous with many things, massive wealth being one of them. The family is undoubtedly one of the richest families ever. That explains why Prince George Alexander Louis isn't your regular kid. As a member of one of the most powerful royal families, the kid prince has the potential to influence not just the British public, but the world as well. At just 6 years old, Prince George Alexander Louis is a billionaire thanks to his birthrights as third in line to the British throne. He was born in 2013 as the eldest child to the royals Prince William, Duke of Cambridge, and Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge. By default, Prince George enjoys the best life money can possibly buy, like the private Thomas School in Battersea he attends. The young prince is already living the good life, and he's barely a teen.
Psst, hey, you still there? Well, since you made it this far, here are all the shoutouts we promised everyone that commented on our previous video. If you want to be shouted out in our next upcoming video as well as the ones prior, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel and leave a comment down below saying, "Pick me!" Once you're at it, you might as well leave a like too. And there you have it, some of the wealthiest young people with the most extravagant lifestyles around right now. Which one did you think was the craziest? And what would you do if you had a day in the life of their shoes? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for